Hi, Terry here. Welcome to another video. Well, I'm a little PO'd today, to say the least. Yeah, so what happened was, and I spent several days preparing for this, I set up what was going to be a really cool video, did the filming, set up the film, the conclusion. Everything was great. Started looking at the rushes and no audio. And as it turns out, the battery on my portable microphone here had ran down and it had shut itself off. I lost all the video. And it's the kind of thing that I can't set up and reshoot for reasons I'm going to show you here in a minute. So I'm going to refilm the intro and the conclusion. I'm going to show you the video anyway. Just going to do some overscore with it. So if you see me hear me talking out of sync with my mouth in some of the shots, that's why. So anyway, the video is about this. My medieval styled wood hand cannon that I had made and tested a while back. 75 caliber, made out of wood and natural fiber rope. And as you can see here, didn't work very well. Got a crack here, runs all the way underneath this rope, comes through here, runs underneath this rope, and comes around here. First shot, complete bust. Additionally, I had it loaded with buckshot and 12 feet away, and I didn't even hit the backdrop. I didn't even hit the wood backdrop, let alone the target. I have no idea where that shot went. So some of the viewers actually over that video came up with some very good suggestions for how maybe it could work. Again, keeping within the technology of the medieval Europe. So that led to this, the remake, new and improved version. Now the idea behind this one is that we're going to put more wood around the bore, okay, make it stronger. We're going to use a harder wood. This is dogwood. I had a dogwood tree growing up too close to the house. I had to take it out before it damaged the foundation. So, good opportunity, right? And then, even though a medieval blacksmith may not have the expertise, especially not in a small village, may not have the expertise to forge a handgun, it does require a little experience to get it right. They would be able to make iron bands, and they very likely could have, if they didn't use rope, if they tried it and saw that didn't work, they could have wrapped iron bands around it. Well, lacking a blacksmith forge and iron bands, I decided to go with a little more modern approach and use stainless steel hose clamps. But the idea is the same. You got steel bands basically holding the thing together, providing a lot of support. Okay, and this is what I was going to test today in the video. Well, actually, it's what I did test. I just lost all the audio. So I set it up, and I'm going to show you this. I set it up, shot it. Here's what happened. See it cracking there? Now, never mind these little tiny ones here. Those were already there. This one's new. This one's new. These big ones here are new. And then if you turn it over, yeah, here's where it gets interesting. This is the back side. Look at that. All the way across, all the way up both sides of the back, underneath two bands. It comes around. Find it here. Here we are. You can see it even here coming through, and even some through here. This thing split pretty much almost all the way down, and that's catching it right here. So this crack is all the way down, all the way down, all the way around, and then back up the other side. If these bands hadn't been on there, it probably would have blown apart. So the bands held it together, kept it from exploding, but it was still a one-trick pony. This thing only works one time. Thing is, did it work? Well, let's look at the target. Okay, at first, it looks like it didn't work because complete miss on the entire target here. But this hole was already in it, but this one wasn't. So here's our impact. So we actually hit it right here. So it did work one time. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, because had I loaded it with buckshot, for example, and a group of tightly packed men were coming at me, and I fired it from about 12 feet away, it probably would have taken a couple of them out. It could have wounded 3, killed 2, wounded 3, who knows? It definitely would have given them something to think about, and it could have saved the day. So yeah, I'm going to give this one plausible that it could work at least one time with wood, with some substantial metal reinforcing, like steel or iron bands. If I put more bands around it, who knows, it might have worked 2 times, maybe. I don't think so, though, but at least once. So this worked one time. Now, it may be a lesson behind that, because the examples that have survived that are in the museums in Europe of full-sized cannons made out of wood or composite materials, wood, rawhide, iron, things like that, they may have survived to be put on display in museums because they were never shot. It's quite possible. And it's also possible that they may not have needed to have been shot. Just having one of those things up on the wall could have been enough to dissuade anyone from trying to get up to that wall and climb over it. If this had been just a little bit longer, this could have made a nice little swivel cannon on top of a wall, defensive village wall, and just seeing that up there could have been enough to dissuade bandits from trying to breach that wall and get into the village. So it could have worked as a deterrent without even having the need to fire it. And again, if this thing fired and it took a few people out, how are they going to know 20, 30 feet away that this thing's been cracked all the way through? Can you see any cracks on it, even this close? I mean, yeah, here, now you can, but, how about this, 30 feet away? Yeah. Would you run toward it again? If you'd seen one of these things go off and your buddy decided you fell over dead with a hole in his chest and they're reloading, what are you going to do? If the cannon's that direction, I'm going that direction. So, yeah, this actually could have worked in that regard. So, this goes on display now with my other cannon. But the lesson to be had in this is the only material I have found so far that can make a practical, functioning, reusable hand cannon or handgun is iron, and maybe bronze for smaller calibers. Bronze was actually used in cannons until they could get to the point where they could cast large cast iron pieces. But they did explode a lot. The breeches did split open on a lot of those early cannons were also one-trick ponies. So yeah. So here's the video, shooting it, and thanks for watching, and see you next time.